Welcome to the Mind is Psychic, where we talk music, addiction, comedy, culture. If you like this content, please leave feedback and subscribe. Let's get into it. Mr. SerJudo, welcome back,
What's
sir.
up? I wanted to get your opinion because it's kind of funny because you two have the same name. But have you heard of? I don't know if anybody that's listening is going to know this. If you're,
I have like a
into-
total of like 3 followers, which I'm so proud of, which I am so proud of, seriously. Like,
hey
I
man,
probably have like 6 now. Hey, it starts at 0, so
you got to build. You got to
hey,
build from
it
something.
takes forever, dude. And it's not like I'm, putting 20 hours a day into this like I should be. But so who's this gentleman that we're speaking of?
Yeah. So, man, I never know if I'm too loud on the microphone or not. Where I've got it like facing me. Am I loud to you?
You're pretty much in the level.
Okay, cool. Anyways, yeah, there's this guy. He just came out here recently. His name's Ian. That's it. Just and you can, if you want to like follow along with me, if you have a computer screen in your face, like you can do some googling. So you got like put a picture to what
Put
I'm
a
telling
picture
you,
to the
what I'm talking about. Yeah, dude, his name's
I've heard
Ian.
of
So
him. Wait, you
really,
sent me. You were I think you showed me his Spotify thing. That he was like the top. He was one. Wasn't he like one of your top
not me,
Spotify
no,
listeners?
dude, no,
Oh,
not
no.
me, no.
Okay.
But anyways, the reason I wanted to talk to you about him is like, so the guy's name is, how old is he? I gotta look up how old this cat is. So, like, how do you Google just Ian? You know what I mean? Like, it's such
IAN.
a
All it comes up is 3 white guys.
just type in like Ian rapper. Anyways, so the man's 19 apparently, so that's probably the first problem. But anyways, what I was gonna say about this is like this guy is 19 years old. Missouri is where he's from, I think, but he's just a white dude.
Ian
And
Smith.
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Born in 05.
yeah. So, anyways, the reason I want to talk about this guy is he's controversial because he's got some hits right now, and I went and listened to them, and I was vibing out to it a little bit. I was like, oh man, this, like it's I don't know how to explain it. It's very hype, you know what I mean? Like his style, like kind of reminds me of drill rap in a way, but not in a serious drill rap. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like you'd have to listen to it. But anyways,
Like beat wise.
Do you know who Yeet is? I think I'm saying
I
that
do
right.
not.
Oh fuck. It's really the only other rapper I would compare him to. I mean, anyways, whatever. So he's this white dude, looks very plain, looks pretty nerdy. He just wears a white t-shirt. He wears like baggy pants, like glasses, very like Caucasian looking out the ass. Like he's not trying to change that fact, right? But the reason I wanted to talk to you about him is because he's super popular right now. There's a lot of people that like him, blah blah blah. But he has these hits that are out that are good. They got a catchy hook, they got a catchy chorus, whatever. But none of his lyrics rhyme. There's no rhymes at all. Nothing rhymes. There's no like stanzas. There's no structure. It's just literally him just talking in a cadence. But people are bumping the shit. People are liking it. Blah blah blah. But when you Google his name, it's like Ian O'Neill Smith, whatever, known as Ian, is an American rapper, singer, songwriter. Like, is it rap if it doesn't rhyme? Does it have to rhyme? Sometimes poetry doesn't rhyme. Poetry's popular, like, but nothing in his. If you go to,
I'm looking him up right now. I'm pulling up some of his music.
so if you would look up Magic Johnson, which is like one of his biggest hits. If
His
you look up the
biggest.
lyrics, look it up on like Rap Genius. Look up the lyrics to that, and you can look at the like, the rhyme structure and stuff. Like, what do they call it? You got like stanzas. You got like entendres, you got like stuff like that actually creates songwriting within rap.
Yeah, exactly.
There's none of that though. There's none of that. Nothing rhymes. So it's like, does it sound good? Yeah, it sounds cool. But when then you taking the fact that he doesn't rhyme, so there's no thought process. It's just him getting on a microphone and saying cool shit. Like, is that rap? Like, that's the question.
See, that's the no, that's I mean that really that gets me thinking because
Yeah, what do you think about that then?
there's no more genres though. So if there's no more genres really, meaning that it's pretty much everything all sounds the same, or you know what I mean?
I mean, he's not like offbeat and like I'm not necessarily saying that he's in the pocket of his music and he's hitting every note for note, but he's not offbeat or anything. So it's not like outlandish sounding and stupid sounding. It sounds correct and it sounds right, but the words aren't rhyming. There's no there's no stance to it. You know what I mean? There's no. It's just saying cool shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had this one time. I was goofing off with my friend that I used to live with, and we were recording, and we were just getting drunk and making music on the computer or whatever on microphones. And I put a beat on, and we were like freestyling back and forth. And I was freestyling and saying some cool shit. And then every time we'd say like some cool shit, we'd all be like, "Whoa, shit!" You know what I mean? Like get hype on it. And I
Yeah.
was sitting there like struggling to freestyle and da da da. And then he gets on there and records some shit. And everything he's saying, I'm like, damn, dude, this guy's like on it. Like this is legit. And then I was starting to listen, and I was like, he's not actually rhyming anything. He's just talking into the mic, like so. He's not
See,
really. There's no thought
I
process.
I with these days, dude, I whoever does what they do, they do. But
It's not
honestly,
questionable at all.
I th- I still think that personally, I think I don't think anybody should be recording on an iPhone. I think there should still be some straight up, not necessarily going to a studio, but like actual like thought process, some input into the situation. Like you need to actually. It's just not like doing whatever. You need to actually have the
So,
system.
so funny enough, you know who co-signs him the most?
Hmm.
Little Yachty.
I'm listening to in the background. I'm listening to it, and just barely listening to it, it sounds dope. Now I'm not hearing words. I'm just hearing his cadence, and I'm hearing the beat.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and I guess with the video, it makes it that much cooler. So
yeah,
until
yeah.
I actually sit down and actually listen to it, I'll get more of a feel. But these days, man, you can't.
I mean, he's
Any
got he's got a swag to him. I will say that it is what it is. But is the line drawn where this is like the dude's like TikTok music, or is it? I just I
I'm
just wanted your opinion on it, just because you're such a solidified rap hip hop head,
I used to be.
especially in the
Not that
era
I'm
of
not.
like, well, I mean, especially in the era of like '90s to 2000s rap is your
That's
core
and
catalog.
that's rap to me. Exactly. That is and that's my version
Is it
and
rap
that's
or is that hip hop? Is there a difference?
I I in my opinion, I don't think so. I think rap okay, so maybe how this is how I look at it. Rap maybe has more poetry into it and then
Hmm.
hip hop's more like party, I guess.
Oh, really?
That's my opinion. Now I could be totally wrong, but over the years I think that it's just come intertwined.
So you don't think that you are like on the fence that the genres are very dumb in boxing?
I don't think they are anymore. I think it is it music is music now, unfortunately.
I get that.
Even with like country rap, it all sounds honestly. You listen to like let's say for instance 80s country, and I guess it's generational thinking
Mhm.
because and it's definitely on my end it's personal too, but like if you listen okay like you said not 80s and 90s and 2000s hip hop that's me, but I also look from it as like a wannabe musician and a wannabe rapper of you need the production of everything, and I think everybody now is from what I see, like especially when the SoundCloud era started, what in like 14,
SoundCloud era, yeah.
14, 16.
I think around the 2016, 17 was around
Every
that
remember how everybody was
height.
recording on an iPhone and it sounded crappy and they were just recording. Now there's and I have no
There's
issue.
there's a like nowadays, yeah, I don't think that passes, but I do think that there's more validity to it at the time because
I,
some of that sound has its nostalgia to it when you listen to
and that's when it comes to personal preference because
it.
I still believe that to mix, to record, to mix, it needs to be in a controlled environment. So
True,
that's
but
my
I think like up and coming, a lot of people don't have the funds, so
true.
that's why you
And
have.
well, and look at me, even
And
with
I only say that just because like one of the was one of my favorite artists, like XXX Tentacion.
yeah.
He a lot of his like first little bit of stuff was on SoundCloud, and it was like they were really shitty microphone. But
Yeah, and that's totally fine. I mean, I started, and I understand that because it's not cheap to record. I don't care. Even nowadays, it's gone down a little bit, but now everything's on DAWs and Fruity Loops and all, FL
yeah,
Studio.
like
Sorry.
yeah, if your shit sounds bad now, you're messing up because you can buy budget stuff that has quality.
Yeah,
Hence what we're using
exactly.
right now.
Because I mean, what I had the cheap mic, that condenser that we had, what 10 years ago,
Yeah,
and that
none
thing
of
was
that was
$400.
right. Like what you were putting into it, it was a lot of money, but
Yeah, I
it's just
mean
crazy quality as well.
the
Technology,
technology.
well, I
Yeah,
guess it's common sense, right? It advances as
yeah,
time goes
and
on.
I'm totally not knocking that. If that's where you need to start, cool. But also, if you don't improve on that,
I think it only helped his demeanor a little bit, his character, because he was such a rugged guy that a lot of that music and sound was rugged sounded too, so it matched him. But it doesn't work for everybody, you know.
no, no, you're exactly right. It doesn't. I mean, and
Like I
that's,
want
I
you to
mean,
go listen to Vice City after this podcast by
by,
him. That's like
by
that's from SoundCloud Air. Vice
and
City, that's the name of the song by X.
XX Intention. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
uh, XX Tentacion. Yeah. Add that Spanglish pizzazz when you say it. Tentacion. You know what I mean?
XX Intention. I, you
I
know
almost
what?
spit out my story.
You shouldn't be drinking soda. As almost the
But
400-pound dude is telling you what to do, right? Like, dude, shut up and lose some weight, you fat ass.
just go listen to it though and tell me what you think. But
What's the song called?
Vice City.
City. Okay, I'm gonna bookmark it.
Yeah, I want you to listen to it because it was it was like on the SoundCloud Air.
Yeah, yeah.
But
No, I think, and and also I think with technology, of course, you're gonna have music changes, and especially even with like platforms, and I think
yeah, I
that's
mean,
also changing too.
yeah, when you put stuff through certain platforms, sometimes it would
Yeah,
degrade the quality. So you got that too. You know, you're always going to lose
like
out on a little bit.
yeah, like I mean, and lately I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about rapping. Like T Pain has um a streaming
Oh, Twitch.
company or Twitch or something like that.
On Twitch, yeah,
He's been saying he makes more money doing that monthly than he ever has with music
yeah,
or something like that.
yeah.
And I
I
believe
believe
it.
it. Yeah,
He was doing a live and he was recording a hook for a feature.
yeah.
And he was just like showing, he had it screen shared and he was going through Pro Tools. And I'm like, how freaking
Oh,
cool
he
is
was
that?
doing like the whole process with on a live.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
That's
It
cool.
was freaking cool. If we had that back in the day, like
He's
this,
crazy. Like
he is,
he can freestyle shit off
dude.
top, and it's just like good.
Yeah.
It's like a hit, and you're like, what the hell?
Like,
Like you're
and
just creative.
yeah. And even, I'm sure they had this years ago, even on Pro Tools, like where you saved your stuff. Like when you saved your like EQ and
Like
stuff like
project,
that.
right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think when I did it, if I was saving them. I'm sure you could have,
I
but
when I
I'm
was
trying to
recording
think if you could.
when I was recording stuff, I would like because a lot of this stuff. I don't know how you did it, but you probably did it the same way. Is like you're recording something and you get halfway through something, but you just lose energy. Like you get in a funky mood, and you just pause and save your progress, and you go back to it later. Right? Is that
Well,
how?
yeah. You, I mean, but as far as like plugins, like EQ, that kind of stuff,
Oh,
I
like
don't. I
presets.
presets. Yeah, I don't remember
I
if you
did that.
could.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think about if I was. I mean, it's been forever since I used Pro Tools back
So
in the day. I'm
nowadays,
assuming you could. I'm assuming I did. I'm actually almost positive I was able to.
well, nowadays, nowadays when you go on YouTube and there's like a bunch of tutorials for like Pro Tools and what's some more like Logic and
Yeah,
Adobe. So nowadays you can get on there and watch like tutorials of how to use the program, but then that same YouTuber will like have his own presets and a whole website dedicated to different presets that you can buy, like
te-
packages.
templates. Yep.
And he actually has templates that make you sound like certain artists too, like if they have like auto tune and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and that's with the whole podcasting thing.
Crazy.
Um, that's where I'm trying to get my levels and measurements from is
And
because I,
save it so
yeah,
you don't have to worry about it anymore.
and that's what I do now is like, especially with like, so I have a whole template now where I have my intro, I have my outro, and then so when
Good.
I go into record, all my
It does the
presets
work
are.
for you.
So all I've got to do is start talking, clip it up, do what I need to do, and then it takes so much the workflow and the work. It
It's
makes it so
seamless,
much
right?
quicker. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, I wish I would have. I mean, I'm pretty sure back in the day I had that option to save all of it like that,
You
but I
probably
was
did.
so. But I was drinking all the freaking time, so I was
I
at
mean,
95% of it. We were drinking.
think about it. Think about producer tags. You think they were constantly recording those producer tags all the time, like Metro
Oh
Boomin and all that stuff? You know what I mean?
no, yeah, no, and I know the No, actually, now that I think about it, I can. What I'm thinking about is when I first got onto it, like back in '07, when I
Yeah.
first started using Pro Tools. I don't think I did. Honestly, I don't think I was saving stuff. I think each time I'd go in there,
You just do
I
one
would,
run and finish it out.
and then I would, yeah, yeah,
That's even
it
crazier
was.
than
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, if like I said, and I'll say this to the day I die, if we had, we all say we have this. If we had this 15 years ago, dude, it would be a game changer.
yeah. But I mean, also you would have a
I,
thousand other
I,
people doing it. Probably not a thousand, but
exactly.
a million other people doing it.
Just like there's 5 million people doing podcasts.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
mean,
big right now.
yeah,
Well, it's
and
been big, not now, just it's been big.
it's been big, but I think, I think it's great because it gets a lot more people's ideas out.
It's crazy, man, how like one dimensional I can be. So sometimes I'll be talking to somebody about like they're like, what kind of interests you like, and podcast is one of the interests. Ugh, can't speak interests that I say, and then I just assume that they're listening to what I'm listening to. So I'll be like, yeah, Joe Rogan, this, 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 and they're like, no, I don't listen to any of that, and I'm like, huh, really? That's like the most popular, but it's the most popular to me. And then like they'll say what they're listening to that I've never even heard. So it's just crazy how widespread it is. You
And
know what I mean?
to be perfectly honest, I don't listen to podcasts like on Apple or Spotify or anything like that.
Really?
I No, I listen to music.
Oh
And
wow.
then
Well,
if
I mean,
I'm
I
not
do both.
and then um when
I
I'm
do.
on YouTube or something, I'll watch like documentary stuff like that.
So you
But
like the
like
video aspect?
I like the video aspect. I what the video is it technically a video podcast? Is that what it would be called? Because all
It's called Moyer watching like
okay, yeah, because now most things on YouTube are now on like Spotify, like especially like
So
just
like for
audio.
give an example, like so Joe Rogan, I listen
Yes,
to him.
exactly.
It's audio
He's
and
on
video on
video.
Spotify.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
which is
Yeah.
cool.
It is. It is. Especially for those that like want to just like listen. But when
Yeah.
I have like my headphones on, I've got to do the music thing. I don't know. It's just I
It's according to what kind of mood I'm
yeah,
in, you know.
I get it.
But you
I
got to
get
think
it.
though, I'm in the,
You're
where I do route sales. I'm driving a lot, so I'm traveling for work. So that's when it dictates my mood. So if I'm in more of like an intellectual mood, not even really intellectual, if it's just like if I just if I don't want so much noise, you know what I mean? Like my brain's not in that kind of like noise mode, then I'll listen to a podcast where it's more seamless and more calm in a way. But then if I'm in like a get hype mood or in my feels, I'll put on some music, you know what I mean? So it's just according what the mood is.
Oh yeah, and I mean, and that's
And
and
sometimes I look
that's
forward to episodes on a podcast. If I know that they're getting a certain guest and it comes out on like, Wednesday or so, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Wednesday. Yeah, that episode's out. Then I'll go and listen to it.
yeah, and no, exactly. And for instance, like I I do that with like no jumper again. Like I'm starting to get back into it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, dude, it's just funny.
Yeah, no,
Dude, it is just
Adam's a trip, man. He's
dude,
definitely he don't care to start shit.
dude,
So
I was just watching his latest one, and dude, I swore there was about to be a straight fight. He had some
I feel like it's always that.
it's just it seems like it's getting
It's
progressively
clickbaity, but I can't even
I
tell if it's real or not, or if it's just
neither can
bullshit.
I. Well, he mentioned on this his newest um now I've only started to get back into him probably the last month.
Okay.
But like in this episode that came out today,
You also got to
he
understand that, like, I think that he's from the beginning till now. I think he's always been in the same studio, right? Like, I think in the same spot in
in the same
LA.
building.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to think if you're getting more and more popular, like once you get to his level, should you really still be in the same block? With all that.
Well, I think he's moved to a different
Okay, good.
location since like 2016.
Because
I don't think he's
remember back in the day when like a gunman came in there and like held him up.
that was yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't think that's where he was.
That
I
was
know
nuts.
they
That
did
was
that at
crazy.
the store.
Yeah, the story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not where he. I don't believe that's where he records his
His
podcast
episodes.
and
Oh,
his
okay.
main business. I think that's somewhere else. Because I don't know if you saw what happened last week.
Mm-mm.
So basically, there's, deal. Apparently, Whack 100 was having a deal with his companion. Name's Loose Cannon. Apparently, they told this guy, Loose Cannon told this dude, is one of his, I guess they were trying to be business partners or whatever, to go up to No Jumper.
Yeah.
Adam comes out there, introduces himself, and the guy asks for Whack. So Adam calls Whack, and then I'm sorry, Loose and Whack go out there, and then Loose just starts beating up this guy and his partner,
What the
the
hell?
guy that came up, and what's his name was Adam. You could tell he was furious. He was like, "This is my company."
At one point though, you gotta like think like, does he hang out with these people on purpose because they're so dramatic and so
Because
off
it'll get
putting?
hits, because
Yeah,
it clicks
yeah,
exactly.
like Whack 100. Like
But
obviously you're putting that guy on episodes for some kind of like
entertainment value.
brazen. Yeah, yeah, like the people he's bringing on they're kind of outlandish characters,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that the whole point of the show?
Well, yeah, and plus it went from
I
like
just
straight underground hip hop years ago to he's bringing more of the more
like more culture stuff, but
gang cultures.
that's
Yeah,
what I mean. No offense to anybody who's living that or whatever. But that's what I hate about it. I hate how he's changed from underground music and trying to get artists a platform to be heard, and then it's turned into like I don't know what the hell his podcast is
now
now.
I think it's just social. He's got a lot of people from
Social interaction things, just
he's
experiments.
got people that are influencers. I mean, he had Wes Watson on there.
No, it's a lot of porn stars.
That's another one, but he's got that whole side business too. So
It's a lot. You know what I
it's a
mean?
lot he does. Yeah, and yeah, but it's still at times entertaining. I mean,
Well, yeah.
he's got a couple of good co-hosts. So Brick Baby, and then he's got what's his name, Lush One, which Lush Run. I listened to some of his music.
Hmm.
He's a little older than I am. I think he's 40, 42, maybe a little older, but he's dope. Definitely he does he was like in the freestyle LA scene.
Yeah.
and I like his stuff, but
So
it's
I'm gonna need you to go on YouTube and you might already did it. Listen to Tyler the Creator's new
oh
newest one.
yeah, that dude, right?
Yeah, did you listen to it actually?
I did, yeah.
So he didn't put it on Spotify or Apple. It's not on any streaming platform. It's just on YouTube. And it's like I can't tell if I like from the Tyler I know it's like goofball shit. But even if it's goofball shit and he's just trolling, there's still skill behind that. You know what I mean?
It is, it is. It seemed very.
You think it was good?
I liked it. I really
But you
liked
can
it.
kind of tell that it's like satire a lot, like right?
I think so. I mean, especially from his older stuff,
Yeah, it's just
it's different.
he's just goofing, right? Like
Yeah,
it's on purpose.
yeah, because it was very.
But the thing is, though, is like you look it up, like what is it like let's look it up right now. Like currently, it sits at 10 days ago, right, and it's sitting at 11 million views. So like even satire or not, like
It,
that's insane, right?
that's yeah. You got to think that's and he only put it out on YouTube.
Just YouTube. That's the thing. Yeah, yeah. He didn't even put it on Spotify or Apple Music or any streaming. So
I'm
it's
trying
like
to think.
so he's not taking it serious as like an album piece or a singles piece. It's literally just a like I
He
don't
made
give a fuck right
a
now. I'm gonna
song, and I'm
goof
gonna
off.
drop an. I'm gonna make a song, make a video, and drop it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's not even a single, but I guess in the video, if you pay attention, it shows a lot of clips from his older days in it. So there's a little bit of like nostalgia to it.
Yeah, and
But the funny thing about it is, though, he's literally mimicking you. So then you know the original beat is a Kendrick Lamar beat, right?
that's what I was gonna say next. It almost
Perfect timing, by the way.
exact perfect timing or a good business manager.
But the thing is, like the cadence though that it just sounds kind of like Kendrick in some
That's
areas. You
what
know
I'm
what I mean?
saying. That's what I was gonna get into is that's the I honestly think that's the LA sound now.
You think that is
I think that's the new LA sound. Him and Kendrick. I think that's what the new LA sound's gonna.
just
That's
crazy?
what I
Though. I
think.
mean,
It is. Yeah, it is. And you got to think both of those guys are A-listers.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
just
Tyler's
like
been he's. I mean, I like. I was a huge Tyler fan when he first came out, and then I've kind of fallen off because I don't know. This is not really my music
and
per se, but I do appreciate like random drops like this. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, this is kind of like old
yeah,
Tyler, just goofing off, you know?
yeah. And for me, honestly, I'm listening to lately. I'm listening to mostly underground, like independent. Sorry, I'm used to where it was called underground, independent, whatever.
Yeah,
So
like
everything's
indie.
indie, yeah. But like Jelly Roll, like when he was rapping, like I mean he's
Yeah,
an awesome singer, and we've had this discussion time and time again. But like I'm still listening to Tech Nine, Ritz, all of that stuff. Like that's the music I'm still listening to. Like
yeah.
it's so this the newest music. You got me into Pop Smoke. You told me about Pop Smoke.
Oh yeah, he sounds a lot like yeah, Pop Smoke. I
Pop
mean,
Smoke. That's the newest.
dead
So
now. R.I.P.
him
that dude. But
on definitely R.I.P. Um, Young Dolph,
yeah,
and then I started listening to Draco,
okay,
and I'm not trying to name all these guys because they're
you're good.
past, but like they're just that's me. I mean, that's when you're talking about like, and I know for instance, like Pop Smoke, just like I don't know if he was signed at that. Like I know because I know he was doing music with Kanye and Travis Scott and all of that kind of stuff. So I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if he like got signed or whatever that to that degree, like a huge record deal. But
He had
in
a
any case,
really short run. I just know
he
that he
did.
was backed by 50 Cent. Like
Was he see? And I
yeah,
got into him way later, and I just it was funny on my Apple on my 2024 playlist most played. One of his songs came number one because I would listen to it. It's called Invincible.
huh?
And oh, dude, it is just like it's something that yeah, you. That's a song you got to listen to, and you're like, dude. But I'm still
I
on the
guess he was
game.
signed to Republic.
Oh, was he? Okay, so he did
Yeah.
have. So he okay. So
I think
yeah,
he only. I don't even know if he had an album out though.
he had yeah, I think what is it called? Look to something. Hold up, shoot to the moon.
Guess he did have a couple albums out. Actually, I was wrong.
Yeah,
Huh. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I wasn't like I wasn't like listening to him constantly or consistently or listen to his whole catalog, but there was a couple tracks that came out that I liked and enjoyed.
because
Because
you
they just
and I'm sure to this day you still love Juice, huh? I mean, of course you. I mean, nothing's changing on that, but that was
that's
like a
that's that's crazy to think about and talk about, dude. I could talk
yeah,
about Juice World's catalog for hours, but it's just crazy to me to. I mean, I started listening to Juice when he first came out. I think it was like 2018, but to listen to him from like 2018 till now, and I mean that's just insane, right? Like his
and
catalog is just that big.
oh that yeah, doesn't he have like he has probably
So
easy
he,
over a thousand
that's
thousand
the thing. It's
songs.
2025 now. Obviously, with New Year's, whatever. Still feels like 2024 to me, but whatever. But yeah, he died in 2019. So to die in
Six
2019,
years,
he only had a run for a year. He came out.
year.
He is like came out in like 2018 and died in 2019. So it's been that long uh, since he's passed away, and his music's still popping out. But not even the fact of the not even the fact of like mainstream media, just me personally, I'm have listened to him since then. And then still finding music I haven't even heard from him still after listening to him for that many years. You know what I mean? Just because he has so
Yeah,
much unreleased music.
yeah. I mean, he's I look at him like there's a couple of tracks I can get with I like really enjoy.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, it's been years since I've listened to him. It's just not my style. I appreciate his
Well,
creativity. I'm a whole different like
you're not like you're not really on that melodic wave.
it, yeah, and I'm
But then again, I don't know if the like when it comes to music, and I'm not gonna say that I'm like a sad little bitch, but like a lot of the music I listen to, it is like sad rap. You know what I mean? And you don't
yeah,
really listen to that too much. Like you know what I mean?
no, I listen to a lot of thought music because that's it makes me happy.
What do you say?
I
What? What?
thought music.
Oh, are you talking about like hoes?
Yeah,
Are you
like
being
dude,
honest? Are you talking about
yes, like
thoughts? Like,
yeah, I love like you know I'm still listening to freaking Dre. I'm still listening to Snoop. I'm still listening to Game. I'm still listening to 50.
why are you
Like
calling it
that's
thought music?
because they're going to the club and they're getting some
Oh
dude.
yeah, okay, that sounds right.
Like
Yeah, you like
um
that West Coast
dude and I
bounce.
I
That's what we'll
will
call it. I'll call it West Coast
it's
bounce.
the West Coast bounce. It's the West Coast like
Shake that ass, oh.
I mean,
I mean,
dude,
that's fair. That's fair. Like,
I that's and then if I'm not listening to that, I'm going on the other side and listening to like Adam Calhoun, Upchurch.
so, question though for that is
Yep.
like, so you're, and I'm not saying I'm a huge lyric guy, but you're definitely more in tune to the beats.
Yes, production.
Okay,
It,
over the lyricism. Then.
lyrics, exactly. Like if it
So
has a
this,
dope hook, I'm on it.
so if Juice World was talking about ex girlfriends and feeling sad on a West Coast bounce beat, it would be a hit for you.
Well, they're hits no matter what, no matter whatever. They're
True,
hits.
true.
100%. Like it's just not my type of the feeling.
I don't know. I don't know where that comes from or what that stems from because I feel like I don't know. I want to
I
know
th-
what
and
triggers
remember,
my
I'm
mind
also
to
yeah.
be so privy to that style of music. You know what I mean?
I think environment, upbringing, past.
I think I've
Um,
always been on like a I don't know. Kind of always been on this kind of wave though. You know what I mean? Because I was listening to Kid Cudi back in the day when most
back in the
people were
you
like,
were the one that got me. Well, no. I think Kid Cudi came out before we met.
but most
Yeah,
people
he
were
did,
like, that shit's gay. Why are you bumping Kid Cudi? These are just, you know,
dude.
like, and, but like, I was always on that, like, I don't know if I'd call it weird. I don't know what you'd call it. Just that section of music. You know what I mean?
He
Like
was different.
in rap, yeah,
He
yeah.
was dope. No, he's dope. To this day, he is dope.
But that's also not to take away that I listen to other artists that are completely different too.
Yeah.
Like I don't really know who I could pull out of my. I mean, I was listening to 50 Cent and shit. Like,
Yeah.
I was listening to him back in the day. So I guess I just kind of more so feel more towards like
Yeah.
the Kid Cudis of the world, and I can't really think of any other artists. I mean, even Kanye had some like tracks that more lean towards like a Cudi-esque music.
And my favorite album from him is 808s and Heartbeat from Ye.
Most people, yeah,
I
yeah.
love that album. I just love that album, and he is like he's phenomenal. Like I don't, regardless of his whatever, he's one of those like once in a generation type
Man, yeah, like I got
producer, entertainer.
there's so many albums by him that I like. Like dude, it's hard for me to. I mean, I like the underrated ones too that most people didn't really give a chance. Like I thought Life of Pablo was good. I thought Yeezus was good.
Yes,
I
yes,
even like the Ye album.
yeah.
Like, but
Donda was dope.
I do think like if you're talking about like Kanye masterpieces, I'd have to say like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Like that album's nuts. Like
I
as far
love,
as like songs that are to me that I remember the most from him.
yeah. And what was that album? What is it? Graduation, I think. The one that
Graduation is
came out,
like it's got like that was a more upbeat kind of album. It's
the one with T Pain was like one of the. Hold up, let me see.
Graduation had like Stronger on it. Good morning. Da, 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 da,
Yeah, let me try to. Yes, I think that's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, Drunken Hot Girls, I think. Yeah, that album
Yep.
that came
That's
out
on
in
there.
'07. Yep. That's if you think. Yep, it is Graduation. If you think that's my with in addition to 808s and I love that album,
I forgot Late Registration. That's another good album, dude. Like
dude.
he's got some
His
banger albums, man.
dude and
Granted, not everything on those albums is great. There is some misses, but there's a lot of hits on a lot of these albums. Though, like
dude,
collectively on a Kanye album, you'll have like 4 or 5 hits compared to like maybe the rest of it's kind of just filler. But
true. And have you
but teach
noticed
their
the
own.
have you noticed the last couple of years? I mean, their albums and EPs are still coming out, right? But like everybody's putting out singles.
Yeah, I mean, but as far as
That
like back on the Kanye thing is like, have you? I don't like any of his new stuff. Like I don't
I've
even care for
like
Vultures.
I've not even listened to it, to be perfectly honest. I've
Gosh, you're
just
not missing much, man. I don't know. Just it just feels
I
it doesn't.
I
It feels too hype in a way that it's like too much noise. There's just too much going on.
and
Like,
I know I've heard that he's in Tokyo right now recording new music.
hopefully, he's got a solo project coming out because
Yeah,
I just think the Vultures thing is just there's just too much going on. It's like kind of like it feels a little mental diarrhea, but just for the fact that like it's more music and there's just not a lot going on. I mean, you got Ty Dolla $ign doing some like catchy singing hooks and they sound good, but as far as like bars go, like Kanye's not really saying anything. It's just there's more music than there is words in them. A lot of the songs or tracks.
whoa. Pitchfork only gave him a 5.8 out of 10.
For what
Mhm.
Vultures?
Yeah, Vultures won.
I just don't think that it. Like I said, I just don't think
It's even
that they're good.
I I've been so focused on other things that I really haven't like sat down. The last actual album I've listened to,
I just feel like production too is it's one of those. I don't know why artists do this, and maybe it's my shitty headphones all the time, but it's just like the music sounds distorted. It sounds overly loud and distorted compared to when they're rapping, and I don't really hear their voice. I just the music's almost louder than they are. I don't know what's going on there. Or,
like the mixing,
yeah, the mixing's just off. It's just bad. Like I don't know what's going on with that here lately. I've been noticing a lot more. There's been
with
some
like
bad mixing.
particular artists or just in general.
Just in general, it's not just one select artist. That whole Vultures 2 album feels like bad mixing to me. Like when you go and listen to it, it just doesn't sound
Hmm.
great. It's not clean sounding.
Um.
And I could be wrong. I mean, you could fact
Uh,
check me if you want to go listen to
no,
it.
no,
You
no,
can
no.
get a gauge it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, no. And I mean, the thing about it though is, was that his, was he trying to do that? One, two. I mean, there's so many different aspects. They mix it
I don't
for.
know.
I mean, there's, and I know he's done a couple of projects, Kanye, yay,
Yeah,
that actually sounded. I get what you mean. It's like it's almost like the music's too much. You know what I mean? Instead of like it being more mixed, I guess would is how you could say it. Yeah, I totally understand that, and I think that was on what album was that? I forgot. There was a song on. Was it? Shoot, I've got to think about it. But he's it's done that before. But I've heard when the bass gets too low,
yeah,
I noticed that. I mean, especially if you, of course, if you don't have the speakers that can hit that frequency, it's not gonna.
yeah. They
You're
do
not.
sound bass heavy. All
Yeah,
that.
like you need like, and that's what I'm thinking. Also, is maybe he's in a different type of studio. Maybe
Hmm.
when he's mastering it, there could be all of this other stuff. But usually they have like a temp. Well, from my knowledge now, I'm not versed in really any of this anymore. But like usually they have like almost like a template what they need for radio, what they need levels that they need for platforms, that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think that may have something to do with it. What kind of speakers are you listening to? What kind of headphones? What kind of car stereo you're listening? Like all of that comes into play, I think too. Like if you're
Yeah.
rolling a regular stock 2008 Nissan Altima with the stock system, it's not going to sound the same on that as it does on a brand new.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like when I listen to one song that's come out, and then I listen to like something like that, and I can easily tell a difference.
Yeah.
You can just tell. You just I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's definitely had music especially he's had music in the past that have done that same thing. Where it's
It's
like, are you
weird.
kidding me? It's like too much.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's like a instrument overload to me, kind of.
Yes.
Like, and
Yes.
usually, like someone with ADHD, like a lot of different sounds actually is like helpful to someone with ADHD, which is wild to say, but usually it is. But with this, is just there's just so much going on. It's like hard to enjoy. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, it's definitely a different
But that man's wild, anyways. I mean,
that hey, you know what? He's
I mean, I like
I'm
Kanye,
telling you,
but
it's
it's funny.
it's it's generation. I look at it, think about it. Think about this for a second. Jay-Z,
Yeah,
Rihanna, Kanye,
yeah.
all three billionaires. Tell me what other music mogul has made that many billionaires. Think about it like that. Like I was thinking about that like a year ago or so. I'm like, holy shit. As much as people want to like, because there are people that like shit on Jay Z and Kanye and all of that, right?
Yeah.
Now, but think about the business thought process about he was able to, not saying him, he guided, he directed, I think, a lot of these people into these different businesses and they've just amassed so much wealth. Yes,
Yeah.
now it just I've not seen anything like that in music. I don't know. I don't
I
know.
mean, it is crazy, but
It just I know it's just money and everything, but it's just the whole everything about it is just like holy moly, like because I mean when you think about like Dre for instance, music wise, I mean he has so many people that he's and that have like stood this test of time. I mean, what what's his Snoop Dogg just came out. They just did that collab. 31 years, 32? Yeah, 32 years. like crazy. Like, and he's still out. Like, it's just nuts. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and leave a comment. You can hear me on all major platforms and socials under the Mind of Psychic podcast. See you next time.